right. Welcome back. And if you are new here, yay. I am so happy you are here. I'm Sophia L from Sophia L Mindset. And you can find me at sophial.com. So we are approaching the new year. And during this time, I think a lot of people, including myself, go into reflection mode. And depending on how big you set your goals or what you set out to do in that year, you can obviously feel really great or really shitty, or you'll feel what you're programmed to feel, what's familiar to you. So even if you've accomplished all the things, you might still feel like you didn't do much and you might be hard on yourself. And I find that a lot of people are having headaches around this time of year, which, the emotional behind headaches, or one of them rather, is when you're self-criticizing and when you're being harsh with yourself. Let's just be aware of it, because once we're aware of it, we can change it. We can shift it, right? I know change can be like a loaded word, but shift feels a lot lighter and it's just simpler and easier, and it is. And so is change. But depending on what you think about that, I think change is easy. But it took me quite a while to get to believing that, right? And getting behind the idea that change can be easy. It doesn't have to be this whole long, 5-year long process. I truly think it could happen overnight. And I used to think change was impossible. So I share that to say that you can change your beliefs. If you're in reflection mode, just notice it. Like maybe things are coming up for you and you're not even realizing why. And once we just notice the big bad monster that's our negative thoughts in our heads in this case, we take its power away and we bring the power back to ourselves, which is where we want it to be, right? So tune in with yourself and notice why what's coming up is coming up for you. On the other side of your deepest wounds is your greatest potential. So don't be afraid to go there. And often it seems like this big, scary monster, and it's not. It's not. You are bigger. You are always bigger and more powerful than anything outside of you. Or in this case, any wound within you. You are bigger. Having someone in your corner that has your back, that can help you shift through things, whether it be a coach, whether it be a therapist, I think can be really priceless in your self-development journey. And I think life for everyone should be a self-development journey. I think we should be seeking to be getting better and better. And just, it's not that anything's wrong with you or that catching up to something. It's just of wanting to live up to your highest potential and enjoy and experience life's greatest everything, you know? Not even just the material, but love. And there's so much depth and levels to love. And in friendship, in romantic partners, with your children, with yourself, with your pets, like your neighbors, everybody. And I think when we're working on ourselves and our own self-development, we can tap into deeper things in deeper ways than we ever have before. But you don't know what's possible. We don't even know that that's possible sometimes, right? Most of the time. Otherwise, I think we'd all be doing it, but it's possible. And I find when I peel back the layers of me, I can experience things more deeply. I can be more present and just more gratitude, feel more love, feel more joy, feel like a better friend, like a better mom, like more of who I want to be. This wasn't happening for me. Like I wasn't experiencing any of this. Actually, I was experiencing quite the opposite when I wasn't wanting to do better. And it was anxiety and depression. And, now in hindsight, I can only speak for myself. but I think it was because I was refusing to change. I was refusing to evolve and look for ways to do that. And there's many different ways. And for me, uncovering my subconscious blocks was just what, like, the key to it all, the key to true happiness and fulfillment for me. And it's like a really exciting, fun place to be and live in, and I love it here. So if you're feeling or going through anxiety and depression or one or the other, I highly recommend you try learning yourself better. There's so much about you that you don't already know. We are I'm we are constantly learning ourselves, or we could be if we seek to and if we intend to. So allow yourself to learn yourself better and doing things in different ways and in ways that feel good to you. It should feel good. It should feel like a good process and a good journey. And there might be rough times, like in life, there's sometimes rough times, but I think if you follow what feels good, it'll be more enjoyable. And there are so many ways to do everything. It doesn't have to be super dark or super challenging or rough. It can be nice and flowy and gentle and loving with yourself. And end of year reflections, or really if you're watching this, like, beginning of the year or mid year or at any time, I think reflections are quite important because you can, you know, choose to navigate differently and recalibrate and just steer your ship in a different direction if it's not going where you intended on it going. So I think it could be super helpful to pause and reflect every so often, once a month, once every quarter, whatever works for you, whatever feels good for you and helps you, as opposed to like adding pressure. You want to add more pressure, a gentle observer of yourself and loving and kind to yourself, right? Like, we're so nice to other people, and sometimes we're so cruel to ourselves. And why do they get the better you, and you get the harsh critical version of you? It's just a choice. So you can choose to love yourself the way you love others and the way you show up for others, right? So one of the ways that I do my yearly reflection, though, is I go back and I look at everything that I have to be grateful for in the year, right? And that list is usually very long. We're talking 12 months, 365 days. That's a lot of time, a whole year. Though it passes quickly, and though, we're like, holy wow, how did we get here so fast? Like, I just did this. It feels like the last year. And here you are again, right? But a lot happened in the year, and different ways that we can look into that and really go into what happened and things that you can be proud of. Find ways that you can be proud of yourself. Any small shift, obviously, the big shifts will probably be front and center in your mind and you'll remember them. But, I saw Mel Robbins talk about how you can go in your photos. I thought this was such a great tip. Go in your photos for the last year, and that'll help remind you of all the good and all the growth, maybe, and the healing and the evolving and everything that you went through in that year. And then you can find gratitude for it. What did you learn? What were the lessons? Even the hard stuff, what did you learn from it, right? Because we can look at challenging times in our lives as challenging times in our lives, as a bad time in our lives, as something we never want to relive or go back to. But what can we learn from it if we just looked at it as lessons instead, and like just zoomed out of situations when we're in them and really just look at it for what it is and what can I learn from this? What is this here to teach me? Is a whole different perspective that'll really propel you on your self-development journey, I have found in your life, you know, in general. And yeah, so take that with you into the new year. Anything that comes up that's seemingly annoying, frustrating, that you didn't want to deal with, what if it's peeling back a layer of you that wants to come out, a new version of you, a better version of you, a more patient version of you, a more kind version of you, a more loving version of you, the version of you that's more creative and that thinks critically or deeply or differently. Maybe it's just there for your good. What if you can adopt a new belief and start to believe going into this new year, and whenever you're watching this video, starting from this moment on, everything works out for my good and in my favor. And if that doesn't feel good, try everything is always working out for the highest good of all. I think Gabby Bernstein says that one. If that one feels better, and like we're all a team, true oneness, and whatever way feels good for you. But what if there is a whole, God out there working on your behalf and team of angels, or the whole universe, or all of the above, working in your favor and for your good, but you don't see it? So there's this saying, I think it's from A Course in Miracles, that says miracles are always occurring. And if you're not experiencing them, something's off, basically. Don't quote me on that, but that's the message. Something's off with you, and it's not to blame, it's to empower you. Oh, okay, so I get to shift something and then I'll experience miracles. Cool, great, let's do that. So a lot of times, I know, like, people think affirmations are BS, and it can certainly feel like BS if you're so far from whatever the affirmation you're trying to say or wanting to implement and adopt in your life is. But it's a great way to reprogram your mind. Repetition is a great way to reprogram your mind. So what if you do just start saying, you know, everything works out in my favor and for my good. Everything is happening for me. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And what if you chose to start looking at things like that? And it might, again, feel fake at first, but with repetition, like, do this for 21 days, you'll notice wild shifts. Do this for 60 days and it'll become a part of you. That's it, just 60 days. And it will become a part of you, but you have to be consistent with it. And you want to really feel into, what would it be like if it were true? What would it feel like if everything was working in my favor and for my good? What would that look like? What would I look like? What would I feel like? How would I walk? How would I talk? How much would I smile? Would I laugh more in my life? Would I play more? Would I enjoy my life more? Your beliefs do create your reality. And that is, again, to empower you and to remind you of who you are, okay? And how powerful you are, and how you get to shift things around, and that you have a whole universe and God on your side, having your back, and the desires within you are meant for you to go after them. They're there to show you. It's like your compass, it's safe guidance. You get to follow them. They're not just there for funsies. It's not an accident. They were put there by God. So when you follow them, of course you're getting to your greatest joy. Of course you're uncovering another level of joy. Of course you're uncovering another layer of love. Of course you're uncovering your highest potential, another version of you, a better version of you. Of course you're uncovering another way of living life that feels like joy, that feels like a privilege and an honor to be living this life of yours in your specific body with the people that you get to love that are in your life and the ones that are on their way. So we look back and we only to gather and take inventory of what happened that was good, right? And then if you want to go a layer deeper, how did you create it? What were you thinking during that time? What were you feeling like? And it might not come up right away. You might not remember it, but if you keep journals and if you have a daily practice, go back to that and see what were you feeling, thinking, and believing during that time, that led you to where you got and led you to creating what you created, right? And we could all do this. It's easy, it's free, it's something that will greatly benefit you. And you'll just keep doing better and better and better. And why wouldn't we? Everything is working in your favor and for your highest good. Miracles are always occurring. If you're not experiencing that, it's only a beautiful, kind sign that, oh, I get to do things differently. I get to look at this from another angle. Maybe I can shift the lenses through which I'm seeing the world through and what I'm focusing on. I know you can find a time in your life that felt really, really hard and maybe really, really challenging and like a low point in life. And then you came out on the other side of it. And, I've often had times in my life and moments in my life where I said, I wish I knew it was going to work out. I wouldn't have spent so much time worrying and being anxious about it and wondering if it was going to work out. What if I knew it was always going to work out? And I just took the next steps every day. I just took the next steps towards whatever it is that I desire. What if you did that? What if you just knew, of course, this is going to happen. This is meant to happen. It's supposed to happen. It's just a matter of when. And that's based on me. That's based on whether or not I'm going to sit here and stay stuck, say things like I'm stuck, I'm stagnant, nothing's moving, I'm doing all this work. What if it doesn't require all this work? What if it requires you to just look at things differently? What if it requires you to just play more? Your inner child is still within you. Your inner child still needs you to play, right? Like we think we're adults and we have to act accordingly all day, every day. But how good does it feel when you play? How great does it feel when you're playing a sport or with your children? And there's a reason for that. You're out of your head and you're just in your heart and you're just playing. We're supposed to have more play. Like we get little clues like that. I think it's in the way that we feel. When we're feeling good, it's like, oh, let's do more of this. Like if we would just be more aware, and present within those moments, like, oh, this feels really good. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to set an intention to keep doing this, right? And the things that don't feel so good, you can either shift the way that you look at them. Like, let's say it's something that you have to do that's at this point in time, like there's no other way. You don't see another possibility, which there's always another possibility. But if you don't see it and you just want to change the way that you feel towards something, you can choose to look at things through love. You can get out of your head and say, I'm going to look at this person or this situation or this job with love. And I'm going to find good things about it. I love the lighting in here. I love, this person, the way they clean up after themselves. They're super neat and clean and considerate of others. Whatever it is, like find the good and the good will grow. What we focus on grows all the time, no matter what. So when you're feeling like things are really heavy or shitty or like chaotic, take your focus off of it. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but trust me, that's the thing that will shift things. You don't need to grip it so tightly. You don't need to feel like you're controlling everything. You can just let go and let God. And what a relief that is, even for us controllers, former controller here. Just trust that, like, what if this gets to be handled? You know, I'm not saying do nothing. That's never ever what I'm saying. Like, be lazy, do nothing. And no, your energy is required. It's going on in front of you and for you. And there is something required of you. But do you want to add to the chaos, or do you want to shift it and alchemize it into something that's not this horrible thing? What if it could turn into like the greatest blessing? You know, miracles are always occurring again. And if we're not experiencing them, it's because something needs to shift within us. So let's just pause and shift our energy. The way we think, the way we act, and the way we feel, right, is our energy. So listen to your favorite song, get on the floor and play a game with your kids. There's always a better way, and do what feels good. And we can trust what feels good is like a green flag. Let's follow it. What doesn't feel good, red flag, you know? And either we shift the thing or we shift the way we look at it. You know, jot down some notes. What are you taking with you from this video? That's the only reason I'm creating this video, is for you who is watching this to gain value from this, to take these helpful tips that will change your life so significantly that you won't even recognize yourself next year if you apply these, right? And I'm going to close off this video with what you're taking into the new year, or whenever you're watching this. You were meant to find this, and you know, you stumbled upon this on purpose and for good reason. And take these with you. So miracles are always occurring when you're not experiencing them. It's just a little light being shed on, oh, there's something within me that needs to shift. That's all. Great. I get to shift this in my favor, and you do so. And life is always happening for you, for your good, and in your favor, and for the highest good of all. And I'm going to choose to look at it that way right now, and to know that, because I know when I look back, you know, after things occurred, in hindsight, I can see how everything was always working out for me. I was always being guided. The right people always came to me. The opportunities that I needed always came to me. I can trust and know that. And so I can be in the now moment, even when it feels hard and when it feels heavy and when it feels like a dark time or challenging time. And I can know, trust, and have certainty that things are working in my favor, because God's got my back. The universe has my back. I have a whole team of loving, wonderful angels protecting me and my family, and just send blessings, right? That's another thing I'd like to add. Just constantly bless your family, bless your home, bless your pets, bless your loved ones. Just bless them, and bless yourself first and foremost, right? Then we'll just bless everybody else more. So play more in the new year, whenever you see this video. And yeah, definitely always love yourself, you know, and know and trust the desires of your heart are there for a reason. They are safe guided. You are meant to follow them. They are meant for you, and you get to have them. So know that. Trust that. Believe in that. Believe in yourself. Trust yourself. I love you. I hope you have the best new year. Whenever you see this, I hope you're having the best year, and I hope it gets better and better and better and better and better for you. And if you stay till the end, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to know how this helped you, or you can just simply leave a red heart and let me know that you stayed till the end and that you got value out of this. I'll see you in the next video.